Some people flip houses for pocket change. These states flip houses and accidentally create new millionaires. In 2024 alone, nearly 298,000 homes were flipped across the US, with the typical profit around $72,000. Cute. But in a handful of states, the average flip profit blows past $112,000, like it owes someone money. We're talking six-figure gross gains on regular, unglamorous houses, with bad paint and worse life choices. These aren't TikTok fantasies. These are real places where drywall dust quietly turns into generational wealth. Let's count them down. 10. Illinois. Big profits, bigger property tax energy. Illinois is the state where your flip makes real money, and then property taxes try to mug you in the driveway. In 2024, the average gross profit per flip here came in at about $90,000, which sounds amazing until you remember, Illinois also has one of the highest effective property tax rates in the country at roughly 2.07%. That's not a tax rate, that's a personality trait. Median single-family home prices sit around $285,600, which makes entry relatively sane compared to coastal madness. The flip scene thrives around Chicago, Aurora, Joliet, and inner ring suburbs, where 1920s brick bungalows and tired two-flats quietly beg for quartz countertops and emotional support. Here's the magic trick Illinois pulls. Appreciation plus demand plus old housing stock. You buy a sad beige house for $210,000. You put $45,000 into it. You sell it for $345,000. Boom, headline profit. Then holding costs, taxes, insurance, and utilities slide in like uninvited wedding guests. The emotional vibe of flipping here is chaotic optimism. One minute you're celebrating a $90,000 spread, the next minute you're Venmo requesting your business partner because Cook County reassessed your soul. Still, Illinois earns its spot. If you move fast, keep scopes tight, and don't try to build Versailles in a $280,000 neighborhood, it's one of the most reliable big-dollar profit states on the list. Beautiful brick homes, tree-lined streets, lake breezes, profits that feel real, and property taxes that feel personal. 9. Michigan, cheap entry, respectable hustle. Michigan is what happens when affordability and quiet profit start dating. The average flip profit here lands around $71,000, with ROI estimates floating between 6% and 8% depending on city and year. Not flashy, not viral, just consistent, dependable money that shows up on time. Median home prices hover near $249,300, which makes Michigan one of the cheapest entry points on this entire list. Detroit, Grand Rapids, Lansing, and Flint are full of solid 1940s to 1960s houses that look like they've been emotionally neglected since the Bush administration. Property taxes average about 1.28%, which is annoying but survivable. And because purchase prices are low, your holding costs don't immediately eat your lunch. Michigan flips feel blue-collar in the best way. You buy ugly, you paint everything white, you replace carpet with LVP, you add subway tile, you sell to a first-time buyer who cries in the kitchen. Here's the catch. Margins are thinner. If your rehab goes $20,000 over budget, your profit gets a concussion. Michigan does not forgive sloppy contractors or emotional upgrades. But emotionally, Michigan feels like home. Quiet streets, big trees, brick ranches, snowstorms that build character. Buyers who just want clean houses that don't smell like cigarettes and regret. It's not glamorous, it's not sexy, it is absolutely real money. 8. Kentucky, cheap entry, respectable hustle. Kentucky flips make money the way old men save cash, quietly, patiently, and without telling anyone. In 2024, the average gross profit per flip came in around $85,000, with an ROI near 7%. That's not viral money. That's, I paid off my mortgage early money. Median single-family prices sit near $270,200, and effective property tax rates average just 0.77%, which feels like a government apology letter. Louisville and Lexington are the main characters here. Think tree-lined streets, craftsman bungalows, historic brick colonials, and buyers who absolutely will pay extra for a white kitchen island. Kentucky's magic is restraint. You don't overbuild. You don't chase luxury. You clean things up. You modernize the bones. You let the neighborhood comps do the heavy lifting. Emotionally, flipping here feels like therapy. No bidding wars, no TikTok investors, no luxury flip influencer energy, just spreadsheets, paint swatches, and resale contracts. The danger zone is scope creep. Add too much, upgrade too far. Suddenly, your $85,000 profit turns into $43,000 and a personality disorder. But when done right, Kentucky flips feel warm. Literal porches, literal front yards, literal profits. It's not loud, it's not chaotic, it's just quietly excellent business. If this list already made your Zillow finger twitch, hit like before Illinois property taxes find you, and subscribe if you want more data-first real estate breakdowns that don't sell fairy tales. 7. Virginia. Big dollars, awkward math. Virginia flips look incredible on paper and mildly uncomfortable in real life. The average gross profit per flip is about $120,000. Huge, beautiful, frame-worthy. Then you see the ROI, roughly 1%. That's not a typo. That's what happens when your entry ticket is expensive. Median home prices here run around $457,500, especially near Northern Virginia, Richmond, and Hampton Roads. Property taxes average 0.74%, which is friendly, but your capital stack is doing CrossFit. The vibe is refined chaos. You buy a $410,000 townhouse. You spend $60,000 renovating it. You sell it for $590,000. It feels like a win until you calculate how long your money was tied up and how much you could have made elsewhere. Virginia flips live in high-demand corridors near DC commuters, military bases, and tech workers who just want granite countertops and a functioning HVAC system. Emotionally, flipping here feels prestigious. Brick colonials, historic districts, charming sidewalks, buyers who show up pre-approved and emotionally unstable from losing 5 bidding wars. The danger zone is time. One slow sale turns a gorgeous profit into a sad spreadsheet. But when it works, Virginia flips feel like closing a real estate heist. 6. Pennsylvania. Quiet streets, loud profits. Pennsylvania is the state that never brags, but somehow keeps walking away with money in its pockets. In 2024, the average gross profit per flip here came in around $113,900, with an ROI hovering near 3%. Not flashy, not viral, just quietly elite. Median single-family home prices sit around $301,000, which is the kind of number that doesn't scare lenders or first-time investors. Property taxes, though, average about 1.35%, which means the state politely waits until you're comfortable, then sends you a bill that feels like a handwritten betrayal. Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, Allentown, Harrisburg. This state is stacked with old houses that were built when craftsmanship was a religion. Row homes with bones of steel. Brick twins that have survived 3 wars and at least 5 bad wallpaper eras. The magic here is predictability. You buy a 1925 row house for $215,000. You put $50,000 into it. You sell it for $365,000. The numbers line up. The comps behave. The buyers show up on time. Emotionally, flipping in Pennsylvania feels like competence. No chaos, no influencer investors, no gold-plated bathtubs. Just solid neighborhoods, stable demand, and spreadsheets that don't lie to you. The danger is patience. These markets don't explode upward, they move like adults. If you need fireworks, you'll get bored. If you like reliability, you'll sleep well. Tree-lined blocks, coffee shops and old factories, buyers who just want clean kitchens and working heat. Pennsylvania flips feel grown, not exciting, extremely profitable. 5. Louisiana, small prices, wild ROI energy. Louisiana is the most unhinged entry on this list. Statistically speaking, the average gross profit per flip here is only about $78,000, and yet the ROI is a completely unreasonable 65%. That's not a market, that's a physics glitch. Median single-family prices hover near $253,200, and effective property tax rates sit around 0.55%, which means your carrying costs barely whisper. New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Lafayette are full of cheap houses with good resale potential and absolutely unpredictable personalities. This is where flipping stops being polite and starts being dangerous. You buy a $140,000 house. You spend $45,000 fixing it. You sell it for $265,000. Your profit isn't huge in dollars, but your return on cash is borderline criminal. Emotionally, Louisiana flips feel like gambling with spreadsheets. Some deals close beautifully. Some houses flood, sink, or reveal plumbing systems that appear to have been installed by raccoons. But when it works fast. This is a state where speed matters more than luxury. You don't overbuild. You don't chase marble. You paint, replace, stage, and exit before hurricane season emotionally arrives. The neighborhoods are colorful. The buyers are passionate, the houses have character, and the margins forgive mistakes if you move quickly. Louisiana flips feel like jazz, messy, improvised, occasionally brilliant, high risk, absurd reward. 4. Tennessee, the balanced assassin. Tennessee is the state that does everything well and never gets enough credit for it. In 2024, the average gross profit per flip came in around $100,000, with an ROI near 8%. Not the highest profit, not the highest return, but one of the cleanest profiles on the list. Median single-family prices sit around $389,100, and property taxes average just 0.55%, which is what accountants describe as chef's kiss. Nashville, Chattanooga, Knoxville, Memphis. These markets are buyer magnets. Job growth, in-migration, and Music City energy keep demand stubbornly alive. Tennessee flips feel civilized. You buy for $310,000. You renovate for $65,000. You sell for $495,000. No theatrics, no weird surprises, just numbers doing what numbers promised. Emotionally, flipping here feels confident. You're not guessing, you're executing. The buyer pool is deep, the comps are clear, the appraisers behave, the danger is trend chasing. Overdesign one house in a modest neighborhood and your resale stalls like a broken guitar string. But when done right, Tennessee flips feel surgical. Precise, efficient, tree-lined streets, new coffee shops, buyers who show up pre-approved and impatient. Not the loudest market, one of the smartest. 3. New Jersey, expensive chess with real money. New Jersey is where flipping turns into a high-stakes board game. In 2024, the average gross profit per flip landed at about $149,550. Enormous, but the ROI, roughly 3%. This is what happens when your buy-in is massive. Median single-family home prices are around $526,500, the highest on this entire list. Property taxes average a painful 2.23%, which means the state collects rent from you even when you don't live there. Northern New Jersey, Jersey City, suburban corridors near New York and Philly, this is big money territory. You're flipping houses that cost more than entire apartment buildings in the Midwest. A typical Jersey flip looks like this. Buy at $465,000, rehab at $80,000, sell at $620,000. Your profit is real. your stress is also real. Emotionally, flipping here feels like operating heavy machinery in a tuxedo. Everything matters. One slow sale, one appraisal miss, one contractor delay, and six figures start sweating. But the upside is prestige markets, buyers with money, demand that doesn't vanish, and resale prices that forgive beautiful renovations. These are tree-lined suburbs, commuter rail towns, manicured lawns, and kitchens that sell in 3 days if staged correctly. New Jersey flips are not for beginners. They are for people who like spreadsheets, patience, and controlled anxiety. 2. Maryland, where flips feel like a real business. Maryland is the moment flipping stops feeling like a side hustle and starts feeling like a profession. In 2024, the average gross profit per flip here landed around $150,000, with an ROI close to 8%. That's not luck. That's a system quietly working in your favor. Median single-family home prices hover near $496,500, which sounds terrifying until you remember what you're buying access to. Washington, D.C. commuters, federal contractors, biotech workers, defense engineers, and a buyer pool that doesn't disappear when mortgage rates sneeze. Property taxes average about 1.00%, which in this price range feels merciful. And Maryland carries a secret weapon most states don't advertise: proximity economics. The same data shows flips in nearby DC often clear $170,000 in gross profit, and Maryland absorbs that pressure like a financial sponge. A typical Maryland flip looks like this: buy at $440,000, rehab at $75,000, sell at $640,000. Big numbers, big kitchens, big expectations. Emotionally, flipping here feels corporate. You're not guessing, you're modeling. You're running spreadsheets like a CFO who happens to own a nail gun. The houses are colonials, capes, brick ramblers, solid, dignified homes that just need modern lighting and fewer carpets that remember Reagan. The danger is ego. Over-design one house, chase one luxury trend, miss one appraisal by $20,000. Suddenly, your $150,000 profit is having an identity crisis. But when done right, Maryland flips feel clean, predictable, professional, tree-lined suburbs, metro stops nearby, buyers who arrive pre-approved and slightly anxious. This is where flippers graduate, from hustle to enterprise. 1. Delaware, the quiet king of six-figure flips. Delaware wins this list the way dangerous people win arguments: quietly, calmly, and with receipts. In 2024, the average gross profit per flip here hit an absurd $165,763, with an ROI near 8%. Highest profit, clean margins, low tax drag, no theatrics. Median single-family home prices sit around $396,100, which is the perfect middle ground between affordability and resale power. Property taxes average just 0.53%, one of the lowest effective rates in the country. That's not a tax policy, that's a love letter to investors. Wilmington, Newark, Middletown, coastal towns where retirees and commuters quietly fight over renovated colonials with quartz counters and functional laundry rooms. A textbook Delaware flip looks like this: buy at $325,000. Rehab at $65,000. Sell at $560,000. Your profit is real. Your holding costs behave. Your spreadsheet stops yelling at you. Emotionally, flipping here feels unfair. Things line up. Comps make sense. Appraisers cooperate. Buyers show up. Contractors behave like adults. Even your permits feel emotionally supportive. This is a state where the math actually works the way YouTube thumbnails promise it should. The danger is scale. Delaware is small. You can't spray deals everywhere. You hunt carefully. You choose precisely. You don't rush bad neighborhoods just to stay busy. But when you hit the right pocket, Delaware flips feel like cheating, Tree-lined developments, new schools, short commutes, buyers who close fast and complain politely, highest profit, low friction, no drama. This is the state other flippers pretend they discovered first. So there you have it, 10 states, 10 completely different personalities. Some reward patience, some reward speed, some reward courage, caffeine, and a very good contractor. If there's one lesson here, it's this. The money isn't in the paint. It's in the math, the zip code, the timing, and the discipline to walk away when the numbers stop behaving. If this breakdown helped you see flipping a little clearer, hit like. Subscribe for more data-first real estate stories that don't sell fairy tales. And tell me in the comments, which state would you risk your first flip in?